Hi guys, Mark here with Walter's World, and we're in Rome, Italy, the Eternal City. Guys, seriously, one of my favorite cities in Europe. If anyone wants to offer me a job here, I'm leaving everything behind. I'm taking my family, we're moving here. Amazing city, I love it. You're going to love it too. But every city, you know, there's stuff we're going to love and there's stuff we're not going to love so much. And that's why today's video we have, the 5 things you will love and hate about visiting Rome. Now right behind me you can see the part of the Colosseum sticking out here. There's a little park right behind it if you want to chill out when you're here. But anyway, let's get to it, okay? So let's start with the 5 things you're not going to like about coming to Rome. The first thing you're not going to like are the tourist hordes. Now you'll see here, there's not too many tourists behind me. Well, I'll talk about that later. But basically what you're looking at, when you're coming here, Rome is such a popular place that it is swamped with tourists all the time. So when you go to the Vatican, there's tons of tourists, you're waiting in line. You go to the Colosseum, you go to anything, you want to go to the Villa Borghese, you have to book tickets in advance because there are just so many tourists here, and of course you get all the bad things that go along with it. There's a lot of overpriced restaurants and souvenirs and things like that that go with it, and that can be a problem, okay? But basically just the tourist hordes in general, that's the first thing you're not going to like. But the thing is, you're one of the tourist horde, I'm one of the tourist horde, and the city's so awesome that in the end you don't mind it so much because it is such a great city. That's the first thing you're not going to like, okay, are the tourist hordes that are here. The second thing you're not going to like about coming to Rome is, guys, it's really hard to find cheap places to stay. Basically, to tell you the truth, hotels in Rome are expensive. I mean, we're talking minimum 100 euros for something blah, okay? So you might as well spend a little bit more, 120, 140 to get a nice place versus the 100 to get in a cheap place. There are some hotel or some hostels and stuff like that you can get cheaper, but in general, staying in Rome is expensive on average, okay? Just so you know, the hotels are expensive, so that's going to be one of the problems. The third thing you're not going to like about coming to Rome is basically the lines for the 2 most popular things you want to check out. The line for the Colosseum takes forever, but the line to go into the Vatican Museum, oh my god, it goes, I mean literally it's like a kilometer long. It's insane. You will wait literally hours to get in. So what you do is you book your ticket beforehand, okay, or you sign up for a tour group, and they have people be like, hey, you want to join the tour? We go in earlier. You can do that to get in, just skip the line. Otherwise, you're stuck waiting in line for a really long time, which I've done multiple times because, guys, going inside is well worth the wait. But that is the third thing you're not going to like about coming here, are the lines to the Vatican Museum and the lines to the Colosseum, okay? The fourth thing you're not going to like about Rome, as I check my wallet and watch and everything, oh, my watch is gone, is the fact that Rome does have a lot of pickpockets and thieves when you're here, purse snatchers, all kinds of stuff. Especially for my tourist friends, watch out at Roma Termini when you're in the station. 2, anytime on the metro when it's packed. I mean, my dad has been, we've caught the guys with their hands in my dad's pockets before, my friends' parents' pockets, all kinds of stuff. On the buses, especially the popular tourist buses, there's a lot of bag snatchers. I mean, one of my friend's mom, there was 3 cuts in her bag. She got a chain bag underneath, like it was a chain in the strap, and it was cut to the chain 3 times. I mean, this is it does happen here. That's probably the one thing you're gonna hate the most, because there are a lot of pickpockets and kind of shady people. So make sure you always have your money belt and your money or your wallet in your front pocket, stuff like that, because it is a problem here in Rome with all the pickpockets, okay? And the 5th thing you're not gonna like about coming to Rome is, guys, if you gotta go to the bathroom, the lack of public toilets, or if you find them, they're pretty nasty, maybe just a hole in the ground kind of stuff. That's something you're not going to like. So just be prepared for the lack of public restrooms, okay? So the 5 things you're going to hate about coming to Rome. 1, the tourist hordes, but hey, you're one of them, so you can hate yourself or live with it. 2, the expensive hotels. You're going to be spending basically a minimum of 100 euros to get a place, so there's that. Third thing you're going to hate about Rome is the lines to the Vatican Museum and to the Colosseum. They are insane long, okay? So be prepared, or get your tickets early, book early, go in a group. Sometimes that helps. The 4th thing you're going to hate about coming here is the pickpockets on the metro and on the buses and at Termini, so be careful. Keep yourself, make sure you know what's going on with those. And the 5th thing you're not going to like are the public restrooms or the lack of them, okay? So those are 5 things you're going to hate. But guys, let's be honest, this is Rome. You can live with that stuff because it is the most awesomest city you can go to. And the first thing you're going to love about it is the fact, guys, it's Rome. You have the Colosseum, which is right behind them. You have the Forum. You have the Vatican. Well, actually, there's a whole other country inside of Rome. Vatican City with the museums, St. Peter's Basilica, the square, all kinds of stuff. Going through, I mean, you can't even list the museums and churches. I mean, Villa Borghese, the churches that are all throughout the city, the Roman ruins, the Roman Forum, all these things in Rome that make Rome what it is. Let's say it's the art, the architecture, and the atmosphere. That's number one. The fact that it's Rome, the art, the architecture, and the atmosphere, because just walking around Rome, you feel the history, you feel it here, and you love it. You will fall in love with the city, even with the tourist masses. The second thing you're going to love about Rome is actually the historic part is relatively small and easy to get around. You can do metros, there's only 2 metro lines, but they go to pretty much your main sites. But if you're, if you can get around, if you're not, let's say, if you're not limited in your mobility, i.e. with lots of little kids or a little bit slower, you can literally see the whole city in a day, walking everywhere, because there's so many things to see that part by part you see something new. So if you're going from the Vatican, then you stop by Piazza Nuova, then you're at the Pantheon, then you're at then you're at Trevi Fountain, and then you're coming to the Forum, and then you're at the Colosseum. There's all kinds of stuff, and it's all kind of relatively central, all kind of together. So you're going to love that, the kind of compactness. I mean, it's still big, but it's still compact in that you don't have to go very far. Okay, that's the second thing you're going to love. Now, the third thing you're going to love is kind of go against what we said before, where I said the hotels are expensive, but the thing is, the third thing you're going to love about Rome is you can always find a place to stay. There's lots of accommodation here. And what's cool is if you come in and you don't know where don't have a place to go, you can go to the train station. There's multiple places there that will find you a hotel, because there is a lot of accommodation here. So even if it is pricey, you can always get it. Whereas, you get into Florence, sometimes you have a problem to get something. Siena, sometimes you can have a problem. Rome, no problem. You're going to find stuff, which makes it a lot easier, makes it a good place to come into when you're doing it, because you have a place to stay, even if it is a little expensive. The fourth thing you're going to love about Rome is, guys, it's a big city and lots of tourists, but you can still find cheap places to eat. You just go 1 block off the main streets, you're going to find basically normal prices, not tourist prices, but normal prices with great food, relatively close to the tourist places, okay? But just make sure you're going that 1 block off, okay? Because you can't eat cheap in Rome. Whereas Venice, you kind of get screwed because it's kind of expensive and you don't get, they don't put as much effort into it. Rome, you can still get great Italian food and at a good price. So that's a nice little surprise for such a big city like this. And the fifth thing you're going to love about Rome is, though it's really big, look, we are right behind the Colosseum and there's no one here. We're having a nice family little picnic here. My son's watching some soccer, my wife's playing with the baby, and there's no one around. You get to have your own Roman moment. You get to be by yourself in this huge city, because there's so many back streets, so many little side areas, little piazzas, things like that, that you can get your Roman moment. And that is one thing that I love about this city, because it is a big city, but it has kind of a small town, not small town, but a small city feel, because you can have your own Rome moment. So what are the 5 things you're going to love about coming to Rome? 1, guys, it's Rome. The atmosphere, the art, the architecture, and the Colosseum's right behind me. It is awesome to be here. Second thing you're going to love about coming to Rome is it's compact. You can go and see everything on foot, and everywhere where you're walking there's something new to see, which is awesome. The third thing you're going to love about coming to Rome is there's lots of accommodation. You never have to worry about finding a place to stay. The fourth thing you're going to love about coming to Rome is you can eat cheap. You can eat good and cheap. Just go a little bit outside of the tourist areas and you're going to be fine. And the fifth thing you're going to love about coming to Rome is the fact that you can go and have your own Roman moment. You can find a back little trattoria or restaurant in a back little alley street and just have a wonderful time and feel like you're not even in a big city. So if you want to learn more about coming to Rome, we have a top 10 videos. We have all kinds of stuff about Italy, Germany, anywhere, lots of places in Europe, South America, North America. Check out our website, www.waltersworld.com. Bye from Rome.